You know, Microsoft has a lot of things on their plate right now. Obviously, things are going very good for them. They can't keep the Xbox Series X in stock. Fans are clamoring for games. Information is coming out. Information is leaking out. We're closing in just months away from an E3 showcase. Yes, things are looking up for Xbox fans. Yes, we wish that there was some games out right this second. That does always kind of suck when that doesn't happen the way that we would like it to happen. But at the end of the day, I still think that Microsoft has very good intentions and has plenty of support planned for the Xbox console, the Xbox brand going forward. So this is exactly the type of news that I think all of us were looking forward to. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this kind of turns out for everybody and what this means. We do have a little bit of information about it, so I thought I would share that with everybody today. And you know what? I think that some people might be a little bit surprised by exactly what's going to happen. Listen, this kind of stuff doesn't shock me anymore. I'm there for it. I hear about this stuff a lot. I just feel like it's also something that probably does it need to be done right now. Listen, I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. It's one of the things that continually kind of comes out there and is out there, and we don't really see much about stuff like this in terms of when it does leak out like this. So yeah, but again, like I said, that's not totally a surprise, and I doubt you guys will be surprised either. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from leaving us a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for spending some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot. If you are spending some time watching some videos, please leave a like. That's all I ask. I put a lot of work into the videos, and if you like the videos, that would be absolutely epic. Just simply put, it helps the videos to be seen. It helps the channel to grow. So thank you guys very much. Now listen, I talked about this a little bit in another video that this rumor was coming out or whatever, and I found it to be a very interesting piece of information. Basically, what it comes down to is multiple sources are now saying that Microsoft has some kind of Xbox hardware to show, and people are wondering what could it possibly be, and there's some different indications here on what that could be. So it says that they're going to be launching new hardware this year, and here's some ideas of what it could be. 16 months into the Xbox Series X's life, and the console still remains tricky to pin down. While Xbox Series S hardware is plentiful, Xbox Series X restocks tend to vanish almost quickly as they appear. Yet despite the ongoing supply chain difficulties, an intriguing new rumor indicates that Microsoft is planning some new hardware for 2022. The source of the news is, of course, an Xbox podcast, but the fact that it was included in the rumor mill segment of the show is very important. This is far from anything verified. At all the same, they have stated that they would expect some new Xbox hardware this year, or perhaps a little later this year, due to the many problems facing international supply chains at this very moment. This is what they said. Xbox currently has some hardware to show that falls into a different bucket that people are probably expecting. Basically, they go on to say he knows exactly what the mystery hardware is, but it's limited by what he's allowed to say. So somewhere in the awkward gray area between a rumor and an alleged fact. The possibilities. Off the top of their head, there's a few things this could potentially be. So from most to least likely, here's the possible runners and riders. A Game Pass streaming stick. By far the most likely Xbox hardware reveal would be slightly underwhelming to Xbox diehards, but may be useful to those unable to afford or get their hands on physical hardware. An Xbox Game Pass streaming stick. While this hasn't been formally announced, it's been mentioned in passing by the company as a way of bringing Xbox cloud gaming to more devices. We're also developing standalone streaming devices that you can plug into your TV or monitor. So if you have a strong internet connection, you can stream your Xbox experience, according to Microsoft's Liz Hamren in an E3 2021 panel, which is about as conclusive as you can get. Now, the other type of rumor that it could be is a Game Pass handheld. In the same ballpark, but less likely, is some kind of lightweight mobile hardware designed for streaming Xbox Game Pass games. Unlike the streaming stick, this hasn't been formally mentioned as a possibility, but anyone at Microsoft but we have heard that the company is dabbling with something along those lines. Notably, the Snapdragon G3X Gen 1 platform is capable of supporting xCloud gaming and Xbox console streaming, which could be of interest to the company. The other thing is some kind of virtual reality headset. Getting more unlikely now as we go along, but as Microsoft has previously dismissed virtual reality as being a priority for Xbox and reiterated the dismissal as early as last year. Things can always, of course, change, and the continued success of Oculus Quest 2 may change hearts and minds, as could PSVR 2 when it emerges, but for now, this seems like a pipe dream as much as we'd love VR support for Xbox, which I would, but I tend to call BS on that. It seemed pretty clear that they don't want anything to do with VR. The other thing that they have written down is, which is pure wild speculation, in part on their own preferences, but Microsoft seems to have no trouble keeping the Series S on store shelves. But what if that's just not down to the relative ease of manufacturing, but customers' desire for a disk drive? Maybe Microsoft is considering an external disk drive. If it wasn't burned by the whole HD DVD drive experiment or selling a version of the console with an optical drive included for an extra $50, they say they'd buy it really quickly. For now, anybody's guess is as good as anything else. For me personally, who knows? I mean, when they talk about hardware, it could be that refrigerator. It could be anything, but something tells me, something along the streaming stick line. I mean, every phone can be already be a streaming device. About pretty much when it comes to playing xCloud, so I don't think that that's really going to be a a big thing. But yeah, it is very interesting to see when that kind of stuff happens and exactly what changes over time. But I do expect that they probably would make some kind of announcement. For me personally, this basically is a situation where us gamers are kind of subjective to this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, I don't think hardcore gamers really care about streaming sticks, and I don't think the hardcore gamers care about a lot of this stuff. But Microsoft has an idea, and so we're going to probably see a lot of ideas that we don't really give a crap about. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's just honestly the truth. Hopefully they have some big announcements, because I know that in the past, some people, maybe even myself, hype up some of these announcements and then they end up being pretty much nothing or pretty worthless. But we'll see what happens with this one. What do you guys hope to see? Maybe a redesign of a console, maybe a slimmer version. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and I think that it's going to be a very interesting situation. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and if you do want to leave a like, hey, I'm not going to fight you for it. Thank you guys very much for being awesome. You guys have been amazing. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.